Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films, back again with... What are we doing here? No, I'm kidding. Okay. So I just finished up the Sarah Jane Adventures last week, and I loved it. It was great. Unfortunate how it had to end, but yeah, finished up all of the Sarah Jane Adventures, and now we're doing the original spin-off, I guess, of Doctor Who. I actually don't know if there were any other spin-offs to Doctor Who, but this is a classic spin-off, a spin-off to classic Doctor Who. K-9 and Company. A Girl's Best Friend. This is the unaired pilot, or not unaired, but the, well, yeah, okay, I don't know if it's unaired, but this is the pilot to a show about K-9 and I think Sarah Jane that just never went anywhere. Like, they didn't make the rest of the show, they just made a pilot. And we're going to be watching that. And, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. This is going to be interesting, isn't it? Let's just get into this, I guess. Alright, here we go. Oh, no. Yep. This is the cheesiest fucking thing. Nothing's happening in this intro. It's just different shots of Sarah Jane and K-9. Oh god. What the hell? What did we just cut to? There's a cult in this episode. Even in classic Doctor Who, I can't see this happening. You know, I know this is actually, I think this is supposed to be technically the Christmas episode, but like, this is Halloween.
Oh, that's it. That's the last. Thank you.
Okay.
That is typical of my niece. This was delivered to her so long ago I can't remember. I had to bring it with me when I came here.
Whatever's in it?
I have no idea. I told her about it often enough, but so she's like a butterfly, never in one place long enough to lick a stamp.
Oh, this is Sarah Jane's aunt?
I knew where she was.
Huh. K-9 is in the box, isn't he?
If you want anything, I'm in the cottage just past the market garden.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Clearly the villain.
You're welcome.
Okay. Well, now this just seems like young Sarah Jane adventures.
Well, I'm in a phone box at the station.
What station?
Chipping Norton.
Look, what's the idea?
I got fed up waiting.
Oh, you got fed up waiting.
I'd take a taxi, but I haven't got enough money.
No. I'm on my way.
Thanks.
You got fed up waiting.
Tuh.
Can't wait to meet him.
Yeah.
What did you say exactly?
Only that they wanted her earlier.
Just before Christmas.
The Americans don't go much on Christmas, do they?
I think it's very odd.
She's all right.
What the hell are you talking about? America loves Christmas.
The last fortnight.
I got used to just popping in when your aunt was here. The back door was always open.
You live at Kingswood, don't you?
Well, I did, but last year your aunt let me rent the eastern wing here. It was much better for the business. No!
Oh.
Mam's best friend must know his place. The most endearing trait in a dog is total obedience.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. Do please. Oh, how is the business?
Couldn't be worse. We've had 2 terrible years.
She
It
almost
doesn't
slipped
pick
into
up next
journalist
year,
mode.
we'll go bankrupt. Well, I'll let you get on with it.
Right.
I'll give you one other bit of advice. Keep the back door locked.
Huh. Yeah. Guy can just walk in.
What is it?
I've no idea.
It's K-9, isn't it?
Oh, whatever it is, it's very heavy.
Well, let's
Oh,
see
is there...
this.
Oh,
They're packing peanuts in there? Oh, just aluminum.
It's a mechanical dog.
no legs.
No, sort of wheels.
Wait.
Oh, what do you think it does?
Well, we could
Oh,
try
you don't know
asking
who
it.
K-9 is.
Jump. You'll be taking it for a walk next.
Wait, that doesn't...
Hey,
Mistress,
don't muck about. Where are you from, K-9?
from the doctor.
From the doctor?
Affirmative.
Yeah.
You can't mean the doctor.
My precise meaning, mistress, a gift to you.
Yeah, this is after...
Didn't forget.
Who is the doctor?
Affirmative.
He's he's a very, very great friend.
This is
of mine.
after her time on
Oh, how
Doctor
is he,
Who.
K-9? I may call you K-9.
It is my designation, mistress.
Oh, how is he?
Give Sarah Jane Smith my fondest love. Tell her I shall remember her always.
Huh.
Thank you, K-9.
Aw.
You're a computer.
Doc.
Affirmative.
I just made myself a cup of tea. Would you like one?
Oh, I'd love one. Thank you.
I'll sit you down. Make yourself at home.
I do feel cozy in this. Like, this is nice. I feel like it's Christmas.
Did you want anything special?
For that, soil sample required.
Of course. You are clever, K9.
Affirmative.
Be back in a moment. Stay.
So, this is weird. This is very weird. I thought K-9 was in Doctor Who. Yeah, that'll get people suspicious. Also, men, you are clearly visible in that greenhouse.
But I must say we took to her at once. I'll not deny it was because she was something of a celebrity.
Was?
Still is, my dear, of course.
Huh.
Knock that back. It'll make you less prickly.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was being prickly. I can't help feeling...
Of course you can't. You need a diversion.
Yes.
You have 5 heuristic interfaces.
Oh, Sarah Jane can't... She can't shake her journalist instinct.
Updating from time to time.
Ooh! Nice job, K-9.
I rendered aggressor insensible. Suggest he is pinioned.
Good job. Yeah, you go after the other one. Man, K-9 is handy. Oh, he's got to scan first. Jesus, K-9.
What was that? They knocked me out, but I've got away. You led it here. What? The dog.
Huh.
What dog?
They're just scared of the dog.
I swear. I swear.
I locked the
Oh, that's kind of funny.
Hey, hey, well done, K-9.
Congratulations unnecessary, mistress.
Look, I'll see to this in the morning. There's nothing we can do tonight.
Tail just
except lock
slightly
every door
wags.
and window in this place.
There's not much he doesn't know about care of the soil. Don't you make the mistake, young fellow, my lad, that everything's in books. Science doesn't control the elements. At least not yet.
It does, though. Can your science explain the rain?
Yes! Yes, it can!
If I get caught, they'll put me inside.
You mean you'll get yourself caught? You'll be safe inside.
What the fuck is happening?
You know better than that.
What the fucking... Oh, damn it. Okay, if you open your door and you hear psst, close the fucking door and lock it. Sarah Jane, what the fuck are you wearing?
Interesting.
Mistress,
It's dead. Right. I'm pretty sure I know who it was who attacked Brendan.
I must accompany.
Yes, please. She doesn't have Sonic lipstick in this show.
Well, what have you got in mind?
Stratagem, mistress. We'll report after dark.
What? Okay.
I suppose you know what you're doing.
Correct.
Well, I'll get back to you tonight.
All right then.
Miss Smith.
There hasn't been a human sacrifice since 1891.
You're bound by your oath.
Human sacrifice.
I'm a policeman.
Heckady's laws are higher. She sent her familiar to warn us. The white dog. Unless she is appeased, she will destroy us all.
What familiar?
Sacrifice.
Brendan in great danger, mistress.
Yeah.
Come on, K-9. Let's go.
Oh shit. She's gonna do this on her own. Well, also with K-9, but still. Or he's just dead. Goat!
Outside the Tracy cottage.
They were how far away?
Well, they were inside.
Well, then isn't it just possible you misheard part of what they had to say?
No, it is not possible.
Yeah. She got the exact
Darling, why
text.
don't you go home and put your feet up?
Uh-oh. They're gonna start blocking her. Uh-oh. Oh, are they gonna run her off the road? You missed.
Could someone be trying to kill me, K-9?
A possibility, mistress.
Heh. They suck at it, apparently.
A sort of church.
Please be specific.
A private one. One with no parish.
There is one at the manor.
Alright, get there and K-9 start lighting fools up. Oh my gosh, wouldn't that be amazing if K-9 just started a mass shooting against witchcraft people? K-9, fire! Yes! Oh, light him up! Yes! Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Oh my gosh, it's exactly what I said it would be. Oh my god. Oh yeah, Sarah Jane, get in there. Get in there with them moves. Oh, that was amazing.
Would you believe this?
So
4 days ago, I thought you two were part of it.
Part of what?
Yeah,
The coven.
I thought you were too.
Well, that box you left me.
You wish we a merry... No, recheck.
Yeah, try again.
Wish you a merry Christmas. We wish you a merry Christmas and a happy New Year.
Now you're getting it, K-9. Oh my gosh. Oh man. That was alright, actually. Oh, that happened. That wasn't as bad as I was fearing it would be, actually. This is a great song. Is that it? Yep, that's it. Alright. Oh boy, that happened. Oh, that happened. Okay, that happened. That just kind of happened. That was alright. That wasn't really bad. That intro is cheesy as hell. But that wasn't bad. A little slow. A little hard to follow, like, all the characters and stuff and really figure out what was happening, but I understood it well enough, I feel like. I actually didn't take a ton of notes on this. honestly, like, I don't know. I don't know why it's called K-9 and Company when it should be called Sarah Jane and Company. Honestly, you know what it should be called? This should be called the Sarah Jane Adventures. Because I feel like this was more about Sarah Jane than K-9. You know? Like, I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's like it didn't feel... I don't know. K-9 was there. He was helpful. But that was more about Sarah Jane. Honestly, they should have called this the Sarah Jane Adventures. I don't know. Maybe K-9 would have sold better. Okay, so first off, this definitely felt like the Sarah Jane Adventures. Not as fast, not as fast as the Sarah Jane Adventures. This definitely felt like... It definitely felt like the classic episode of the Sarah Jane Adventures. Like classic Doctor Who is to new Doctor Who. This definitely feels just like a classic version of the Sarah Jane Adventures. But I did like that. I like Sarah Jane. So that was interesting. And yeah, I'm not sure... I don't know why you would need to call it K-9 and Company, honestly. But yeah, it was interesting. K-9 was pretty cool. I like that K-9... I don't know. It's like K-9 never got into trouble with anything. Like, I was kind of worried, like, okay, someone's going to see him, or, oh, the dude, he's looking out for a dog, and it's going to be K-9, or, oh, K-9's doing a stakeout. But no, K-9, like, never got in trouble, which was interesting. Now, I wonder if this show had gone on, would they have stayed in this location, in this town? Because, I mean, that was a lot of the townsfolk, I feel like, that were in on this witchcraft stuff. You know? And this was, you know, kind of a small town in the countryside. You know, at least when, you know, Sarah Jane's living on Bannerman Road, it's understandable that stuff is happening. She is in London. London's a big friggin' city. So yeah, that was interesting. Okay, you guys are gonna have to clear something up with me in the comments. This isn't the introduction to K-9, is it? Is it? I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me. Maybe I might even, like, ask on Twitter as well. So, because I want to know the answer to this. Is this actually the introduction to K-9? I don't know. That doesn't quite make sense, because why would you do a spin-off to Doctor Who about a robot that wasn't in the show? Like, why would you name it after the robot if the robot was never on Doctor Who, but it's really about Sarah Jane, who was in Doctor Who? Because she didn't know K-9, you know? And that's the thing, you know. So they do mention that the Doctor sent K-9 to be with Sarah Jane, you know, and give the message, like, you know, I will never forget you, basically. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. Like, I thought that K-9 was introduced on Doctor Who with Sarah Jane, and then they tried to spin off into their own show. I don't know. I'm going to have to figure that out. I'll probably go on Twitter or something, and you guys can leave it down in the comments. But yeah, so that's a little point of confusion, because she did not know who K-9 was. So yeah, that was interesting. I wrote down the cult and the witchcraft that was going on. That was kind of interesting. You know, honestly, this is like a very tame, like, family-friendly version of Countryside from Torchwood, actually. Which was sort of the same thing. They didn't really do any of the witchcraft stuff, but there was just, you know, these insane people living out in the countryside. You know, these insane cannibals and stuff. And the Torchwood crew had to face them. This was somewhat like that. You know, Sarah Jane is in the countryside with her cousin, kind of. It's her aunt's ward, which is interesting. So, yeah, that's interesting. Excuse me. So yeah, the witchcraft thing was kind of interesting, and the other characters were kind of like the two we focused on in terms of the witchcraft. The guy and his son. That was they were kind of interesting. They were kind of crazy and stuff like that, but I like that. So yeah, it was okay. It was a good enough plot. I liked Brendan. I did like Brendan. I think he was a good. Basically, I guess he's a good companion to Sarah Jane. Because that's the thing. Sarah Jane is the main character. It's so weird. It's like K-9 and Brendan are her companions. It still doesn't feel like this doesn't feel like a K-9 show. This feels like a show about Sarah Jane. But it's called K-9 and Company, so I don't know. Like, if they had even called it, like, Sarah Jane and K-9, that would have been better. I don't know, man. It's very odd, because this did just sort of feel like the Sarah Jane adventures. And, most of this was Sarah Jane going out trying to figure stuff out, Going through books, checking out, maps with K-9, and, going and questioning people with her journalist skills and stuff like that. Like, honestly, a lot of the things she did really did feel like the Sarah Jane adventures. It's just what she does, It also felt like, this is kind of the first time, maybe one of the first times she's really had to do this, by herself, because she doesn't have the doctor with her. So this is kind of one of the first times that she's ever been like, okay, I'm doing this on my own. I got to figure all this out on my own. So that was kind of an interesting... That was kind of interesting to watch, her trying to figure it out, having to take that leading role now, which was very interesting, because, and it's also a good contrast because I've watched all the Sarah Jane adventures where she already takes that role, she's already, in total command, she's doing her investigations and stuff. Now to watch sort of the origin of how she started doing that, that was actually really interesting. And it does make sense to give her K-9. We don't have Mr. Smith or anything because obviously Mr. Smith was created for the Sarah Jane adventures. But to have K-9, let's be honest, K-9 basically acted as Mr. Smith, which is interesting. And, he helped out, but I didn't feel like he outshined Sarah Jane in this. And that's the thing. He's not the main character. It's still Sarah Jane. This is the Sarah Jane adventures. But, he's doing his stuff, too. He's doing the best he can to help Sarah Jane. He's staying there on a stakeout and stuff like that, which is pretty interesting. But yeah, and there was never, a conflict of, what should they do? For some reason, I don't know, I felt like because, they're just getting to know each other and stuff like that, they don't really know each other. This is the first time, that they're working together and stuff like that. But they work together pretty perfectly, actually. There was no, conflict between the two of them because they're not used to working together. But I like that. K-9 was there to help Sarah Jane. That's the thing. Which is why I don't get why it's called K-9 and Company. I'm going to keep saying this throughout the whole video, but yeah. But yeah, that I did like. K-9 was basically just there to help Sarah Jane. So I did like that. And then I wrote down sacrifice. That was kind of interesting, this whole witchcraft thing. And the fact that, at the end they even say it's like, oh man, human sacrifice, maybe it's like what they say in the papers. It's happening all over the country. Fucking UK, get your shit together. What the hell? Well, he said country, so would that technically mean England or UK in general? I guess it would. Technically, it's England. Not the point. I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm no one to judge. America's got some fucked up shit in it, but yeah. Just fucking witchcraft, that's kind of funny. So yeah. It was interesting, and the human sacrifice. We have to appease our god. It's like, I don't know. And they even says oh, she already sent her familiar, and it's like, well, who? do you mean K-9? That doesn't make sense. Like, I don't know. We didn't really go into, like, you know, what they worship and stuff like that. I don't know. We got a fight. Oh my gosh, yeah, we got a fight at the end, kind of. I like that. So I've today I also recorded the last episode of Merlin, the season 1 finale, and at the end I was like, oh my gosh, there was a final battle, you know, in that. Spoilers, I suppose. But I was like, oh my gosh, there was a final battle in that episode. Isn't that awesome, you know, between our hero and our villain? And it's like, we kind of got that here too. I like that. We don't normally get that, especially like on Doctor Who, or I mean, there are confrontations and stuff, but this one, like, now granted, K-9 was not killing any of them. He was stunning them specifically. But I mean, you know, I kind of joked around like, you know, oh, well, you know, wouldn't it be cool if K-9 just went in there and just lit the place up, just started, you know, shooting everyone. And then he did do that. I actually like that. I was like, oh my god, I was right. K-9 went in there, started shooting people, and when people tried to get away, Sarah Jane came in and started beating the shit out of people. It's like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Oh, man. I mean, it also makes sense. I mean, she was introduced with the Third Doctor. The Third Doctor loved his fucking karate chop. I know I haven't seen him in much, but I remember in Terror of the Autons, you know, he did pull off some, like, karate moves, and you guys said, like, oh yeah, the Third Doctor does that. So, that's pretty cool. So we did have a fight at the end, which I liked. And overall, I will say I did like this, actually. This wasn't too bad, actually. The intro makes it seem like you are in for some cheesy 80s shit, but no, this was actually kind of interesting, and maybe that's just because I don't know, I can see the Sarah Jane adventures in there. Like, I can see, okay, this is just a slower sort of classic feeling, classic version of the Sarah Jane adventures. And you know, I was worried, like, I knew Sarah Jane was in this, but I was worried that this was going to be the K-9 show, and I was like, can K-9 carry a show? You know? Because I knew it was called K-9 and Company, so I was like, I don't know, can K-9 really, can he carry a show like this? But I didn't need that answered, actually, because Sarah Jane carried the show. But yeah, I like Sarah Jane. I did like K-9 in this, you know, I like that his role was not as major as I actually thought it was going to be. But I like Sarah Jane. I like K-9. I like Brendan. Honestly, I kind of wish there was a little more of this. This was kind of nice. Now, I don't know where they wanted to go with this. Like, were they going to stay there? Were they going to leave this place? Was the aunt going to come back? I don't know. I have no idea, but I also like now that I've seen the Sarah Jane adventures, you know, seeing it's like, oh, she's going to be with her aunt, and it's like, oh, because, like, yeah, she was pretty much raised by her aunt because her parents, you know, died when she was a baby. I learned that on the Sarah Jane adventures, so I kind of like that, you know, learning, like, some of these things I caught because I watched the Sarah Jane adventures. And some of these things I caught because of Doctor Who and all that. So I did like that. But yeah, overall, this was alright. Just a nice, slower, classic Sarah Jane Adventures episode. And it would have been interesting to see if it had gone on. But yeah, it was alright. It was actually alright. I didn't mind that. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wrote. So that is actually it for the Sarah Jane adventures. No more other spin-offs that we're gonna do one-off videos of. So yeah, this is it. So yeah, until we get around to watching Sarah Jane episodes in classic Doctor Who, but that's, good lord, that's gonna be years from now. But yeah, that's pretty much it. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch the Sarah Jane Adventures reactions and this in a playlist, it's over here. You can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. You can support me on Patreon and follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.